I want to get your take on this. Senator Eric LaFleur. Bill would allow younger adults to drink after earning certificate. After decades sneaking into bars with fake IDs, that folks have been doing that when time began. They're going to be doing that when 40 years from now. Eric LaFleur has his way. They may no longer need to rely on deceptive methods to get alcohol. House Bill 429 by Democrat, one of Bell Edwards' floor leaders, Eric LaFleur, would make it legal for 19 and 20-year-olds to buy and consume alcohol if they obtain a certificate. Of course, it's going to cost $100. I really believe 18-year-olds should be able to drink. But Brandon, if we go down to 18, then do we want to go down to 15? If we go down to 15, should we go down to 12? I'm curious. So whatever the age on all this stuff ought to be, if it's 21 or 18, quit changing the rules. That's all I wish they would do. So if you can go fight in a war at 18 and you can do this and do that, and you're an adult at 18, okay, then fine, make it 18 again. But there's a big push for 21 to sell guns now, to be able to buy a gun. But I tell you what, if I'm mad, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, I light this dude up. This is nobody is wanting to do this. At least I don't think they do. Now look, I know their parents that, Brandon, I got news for you. They as long as they drink at home, they let them drink. I will never understand a parent doing that. If you ever have somebody drive off the site and get hurt or kill somebody, you're in trouble. What if you have your kid fall down the stairs and kill himself on an accident? They take a blood alcohol test and go, you've been drinking. He drank at home. He drank with mom and dad. This is a big deal in public now. People are starting to tell you they're letting their kids drink at home at a certain age. Look, I'm not Mr. Moral. I can't get it all right. But my God, you're going to pass a bill to lower the age of drinking?
I think you need to read down a little bit lower, though, where it talks about money, the cost for the certificate.
$100. That's what I said earlier. It costs you $100. More money to the state, I guess. You know, and
I think that's the main. I think that's one of the main parts of this, Moon. Is able to bring more money into the state.
That's the same thing with gambling. I don't know why we don't legalize prostitution. Hell, you name somebody who don't like
Moon,
sex.
that might be coming.
Hey, name somebody who don't like sex when they get a certain age. All right. So why not legalize it and tax it? That way we got plenty of money for Jay Darden and Bill Edwards. He said, I really believe 18-year-olds should be able to drink. Just doesn't make any sense for people to be going to bars and getting drinks from other guys, and having to patrol and regulate that. It just doesn't work, and everyone knows it doesn't work, so why do we bury our heads in the sand and say it? His proposal comes at a time when college administrators and many lawmakers are heading in the opposite direction, trying to curb drinking and hazing death. Late September, LSU fraternity pledge was forced to drink more than 6 times the legal alcohol limit. You know, so you got people, he said you have a little peer pressure to act appropriately when you drink or not to drink so much that you act inappropriately. Look, here comes LaFleur. Let's get the peer pressure off the kids. That's been going on, Brandon, since I was in school. That was going on when you was in school. It's going to be going on when we're out of school. It's going on now. Peer pressure, you work with your kids not to do things, and the kids will do things like that you hope they don't do. By the way, Brandon, they said drinking accidents are 90%. Says 90% of alcohol, LaFleur acknowledged that younger drinkers have a riskier habit than older drinkers. According to the Center of Disease Control, 90% of alcohol consumed by ages 12 to 20 is consumed through binge drinking. This is Eric LaFleur, Democrat, senator from Ville, Platte, Louisiana. I'm just curious, should we put everything back to 18? Because basically, when I talk to people, they go, well, we got to do 21 this and 21 this and 18 in this and 18 in this. So parents out there, and I know parents out there saying, well, if the kids are going to drink, and they go, no, I'm going to let them drink at home. That's another argument. So Eric LaFleur, and look, Eric LaFleur is not putting this out there, Brandon, if somebody wasn't pushing it. Then if you got $100 and you want your kids to start drinking early, according to Eric LaFleur, he's going to get something passed so your kids can, and maybe they'll time it just when marijuana is legal for everybody to buy too. By the way, if we lower drinking down to 18 or 19 and they do eventually pass marijuana sales as recreational drug or whatever you want to call it, does that do 21 or 19 or 20? What age do we do for that? You see no consistency in the state of Louisiana. None. Which doesn't even make any sense. No sense whatsoever. But that's LaFleur. If you want to put things back to 18, if you can serve in the military, then go put it at 18. But quit playing games. Here we go again. Another set of games by another lawmaker. Put a sign on Eric LaFleur. Just put a sign so we'll know who he is immediately. When we walk up and go, he's got one of those signs on. I'm stupid. Crazy, man. Don't make any sense whatsoever. Y'all want to put it back to 18? Fine, put everything back to 18. Folks, we ought to... Could you imagine how bad elected officials would get if y'all all started coming up with a way to say, here's your sign? You know, I'm stupid signs. I mean, that would be hilarious. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. It's your opportunity to be the voice. By the way, the guy that was sending the bombs, it looks like the guy that was sending the bombs in Austin blew himself up.
He did.
By the way, that was the best bomb he ever set.
Yep, police had caught up to him. He was police chase, and once they caught up to him when he wrecked into a ditch, he blew himself up.
Yeah. By the way, it was the best bomb he ever made was his last one. Just wish he'd have made that one first. Let's go, Aaron in Monroe. How you doing, Aaron?
Hey, Moon. I really don't have a problem with them lowering the drinking age. I don't think they should charge $100 for it. I think it's a blatant money grab by the government.
Aaron, you're making my point though. That's why I said here's your sign. If you're gonna lower the crap, lower it. If you're not, then leave it where it is and don't come up with this stupid thing. Well, for $100, you can drink too. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like you said earlier, I think we just need consistency. And if they want to mess with ages as far as what you can do at this age or that age, how about we just raise the age to enter the military to 21?
Yep. Yeah.
So we know that'll never happen.
Well, you know, but the thing about it is, okay, we got 21 for drinking. He wants to make a bill that if you give him $100, you 19 and 20-year-olds can drink. What about 18-year-olds? And then after 18, what about 17? And then it just doesn't make any sense. We have no consistency.
Well,
Let me ask you a question. When they legalize marijuana, are we going to make it 21 for marijuana, but you can drink it 18, 19 for $100 certificate? Same thing with gambling. I think you got to be 21 to gamble. Well, if you got to be 21 to gamble, I mean, are we going to give them a certificate so they can be 18? I mean, look, this is the problem.
It's going to be however they can make the most money.
But you understand, this is the problem with the whole state. This is what we do. We change the rules. We make them up. We don't have anything that's uniformed in a good way. I don't understand that.
Well, the problem is people think they can legislate morality, and you can't legislate morality. You might have things you want people to do or not do, but a law, for the most part, isn't going to keep it from happening. Like you're just talking about the guy in Austin. I mean, blowing up people with bombs is illegal. It didn't stop him from doing it.
Well, the guy just sent me.
People have been drinking underage for...
Yeah, but the guy just sent me and made a good point. If you're 18 years old, you really are a young adult and a man. And if you get caught, do you get a DWI, DUI? Absolutely you do. You know, 18-year-old is subject to the same law as 21. My point on this is it's idiotic for this guy, Eric LaFleur, to write what he's writing. If you want things to be back to 18, then you put everything back at 18. Because I'm going to tell you, that's going to be funny. You can drink and do marijuana at 21, but if you buy a certificate, you can do it earlier. That sounds like a money grab to me, too.
Yep.
They just don't say it to call. Let me need signs hung around their necks. Anyway, appreciate the call. Let me move on. Let's go to Texas somewhere. Dexter, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I guess I'm a recent convert. I just got tired of radio as it was on the FM stations and went surfing and found you, and I've become a pretty loyal listener.
Well, thank you.
And
thank
I
you
wish
so much.
we had more.
Thank you.
I wish
Thank you
we
very
had
much.
more like this in Texas too. But here's your sign deal.
Yeah.
For all the people who advocate gun-free zones, here's your sign.
Yeah, they need a big sign on. Hey,
I mean,
they need a sign on the front and the back.
Well, the term they use down there in Austin is "keep Austin weird."
Yep.
Well, yeah, he went weird. He dropped the gun and picked up bombs, and here we have it. And then you take the school shooting in reverse. Everything that they've been saying was done away with. They called him a resource officer. I don't know for a fact, but I would assume that he's a retired police officer or maybe a military.
He's actually former SWAT officer.
Former SWAT officer.
All right, I'll rest my case then.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you made a good point. Good point to rest on.
Here's a guy that opposed to the other gentleman who stood and trembled in fear, standing in the pee-pee in their boots, and refused to enter.
Yeah.
Here's a man who run to the shot.
Yep.
Trained to run to the shot, and resolved an issue in a nanosecond right here. And yet we have now an entire generation of constitutional experts that are sub-21s, and they're trying to give away a right that our founding fathers fought and died for, them and their families after them.
Yep.
And they, I'm going to step out of line, which I do pretty regular, and it doesn't bother me. I've got the bruises and the scars to show it.
Yeah.
We look at our society when our founding fathers brought this place into a nation and people drove westward. There was parental interaction with their children on a daily basis, possibly on an hourly basis. Whether it's Junior go harness the mules or Sally go get the eggs, it didn't matter what the job was. They had to do it.
Yep.
This parental interaction brought about the education of responsibility. Period.
Yep.
And in bringing about children that are responsible, you bring about a human being that can become an adult.
Yeah.
We have lost that. Let's put the blame where it is, and I don't care whether they like it or dislike it. It is the failure to have parental interaction, and that belongs to everybody, rich and poor alike.
Yeah, I just tell people all the time, if you had people that would be married, have their babies, and take care of their kids and raise their kids right and do the best you can with them, we would change the whole country in a second. Look, I got to go. Thank you so much, Dexter. God bless. Appreciate you calling. Thanks for listening. Move on to Eric. And
y'all
doing fine, sir.
Morning, Moon. How y'all?
Doing fine, sir.
I wanted to bring up a couple of topics. It seems like they want to take guns away and then keep us smoked up on marijuana where we won't care.
Well, they ain't gonna.
I mean,
they're not gonna get me because I'm not smoking.
Well, they ain't gonna get me either.
I never tried it, and if I had tried it, I would tell you on air.
Hey, I spent over 20 years fighting it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this much: if you watch that show Live PD,
no, I have not.
Okay, well, you ought to watch on A&E. Every time they stop a car now, regardless of where they are, in whatever state they're in, it's usually states that have legalized marijuana. Every vehicle they stop has got somebody smoking weed in that car, operating that vehicle. Every one of them. And it's become rampant. And it's like, you think about how everybody saw it won't hurt anything. Well, yeah, it will. These folks out here riding around buzzed up, smoking weed, will run over somebody and kill somebody. And then as the legislators that passed this law, are they going to be held responsible? No, they're not going to be held responsible.
Yeah. All right, my brother. Appreciate the call. It is what it is. All right. More to come on the Moon Griffon Show. Don't go nowhere, folks. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Yes. fiddling with the ruse again, as Eric LaFleur. Just, once again, he ain't going to man up and say what he really wants to do. Just tell people you want to lower everything to 18 again. You just need to man up. They won't do it. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Hi, y'all all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Next President of the United States, Mitch Landrieu. By the way, there was one article called him a Cajun Democrat. The Cajuns don't want that name by him, I can promise you. I mean, I got to tell you, he went on he did a TV deal. It was very, this guy right here, and when you think of fake, that you could put his name on a definition of fake. He sees it as an opportunity to go run. He has nothing else to do. He can't run for Congress and win. He can't run for dog catch. He can't win statewide. He would not carry the state of Louisiana if he ran for governor, president. What makes me mad, though, is he wrote a book. This is typical Democrats, white or black, what they do with minorities. They use them. He wrote a book. You know, he got rid of monuments. Then he wrote a book on race. And what did he do? He just jumped in and pounded white people. Okay? What did he do? When he talked about Trump, he compared him with what? David Duke. David Duke. Everybody knows that's a bad name. So they compared him to David Duke. You know, and Trump's not even close to what David Duke was. Or is, should I say. He didn't change anything. You know? And all he's talking about, he's trying to, let me see if I can put it right. He's trying to out-black anybody in the presidential race that he cares for blacks more than anybody. He understands blacks more than anybody. This is all set up because they now know the Democrat Party, you have to go over to the blacks and win their approval. And he knows he has to get to the left, as far left as he can of any other candidate. James Carville, a guy who abused women when Bill Clinton was the president. Abused them. Verbally abused women that were abused by Clinton, says it's one thing to run for president, another thing for people to take you seriously. He clearly falls into the second category. I think he's a remarkable talent on the Bill Clinton, Barack Obama scale. I wonder if he's already hired Carville to do his campaign. The more people see him, the more like, hey, James, will you tell the black community about how when you had Representative Mitch Landrieu voted for the rebel license plate, that we can have rebel license plates in Louisiana? How does that's the real guy. He can't even win in his own state. He wouldn't have one chance to win in his own state. He would be embarrassed in his own state if he ran for president. Here's a comment. Who is this? Jon Stewart, I think. Jon Stewart. That's the funny guy, I guess, Brandon?
I guess. I'd have to see the article to be able to tell you.
Well, that's who it is. He was the comedian guy that does, used to do the...
What's he doing commenting on this story?
Well, because I asked him. And he said, dang it, I lost my deal right here. Jon Stewart said he would be one of the few candidates who I think could appeal to the African-American community and the white working class. Why? What would he run on? I know how to get crime more prevalent. I know how to run business out of the country. And he already believes in this man-made global warming bunch of bull that it is. People are going to fall in love with Mitch Landrieu. Don't forget, he had a sister named Mary who voted wrong and bad a lot, who was wiped out in Louisiana. She got 44% of the vote. Mitch Landrieu has been an embarrassment and a failure in New Orleans. Hell, like Brandon, they've been writing about how much of a failure he's been. They've been writing this memo for him. The newspapers, of all people, have been writing this memo, how bad he's been. He's for sanctuary cities. Holy cow. Mitch Landrieu.
You know, he was
President of the United States?
You know, he was on The Daily Show a couple of days ago, which was Jon Stewart's old
That's
show.
Stewart's deal, yeah.
But Trevor Noah is now the host of the show. And basically what they did was they had an interview, because I didn't know this, but Mitch Landrieu apparently wrote the book called In the Shadow of Statues.
Yeah, he's on a book tour now.
Yeah, so that's what he's doing. He's on his book tour right now.
Yeah, he's on his book tour,
book.
and what he's doing is he's appeasing as much as he can to the black voters, because in the Democrat Party, the black vote it's only 12% in the big vote, nationwide. But in the Democrat Party caucus and primaries, it's a majority of the vote. So he's trying to out-black anybody that runs by writing a book. This guy's from the South, and he's hitting. It's all basically he's becoming a race pimp. Mitch Landrieu is the newest and latest race pimp. Somebody asked him about Louis Farrakhan. Did he ever give him a key to the city like Jamie Mayo did in Monroe? This is a joke. Just total joke. He can write a book. He can go do a fairy tale book tour, and everybody like him. They can quote James Carville, who is he's a man who abused the abusive women of Bill Clinton. He abused abusive women. People keep writing about him. They show him on TV, when LSU's playing, and I'm going, wow. Somebody that abused abusive women, he makes great comments, and boy, they grab him like he's some kind of hero. Remember? Bring a $50 bill, a $100 bill through a trailer park, see what you can get. That was James Carville. That was Carville, about women. He beat up on all the women that came forward on Bill Clinton. All of them. He abused women. And then you got Mitch Landrieu, who, by the way, supported for the rebel flag license plate. But no, we can't do that. But he wrote a book. He wrote a book on slamming white people. He wrote a book so he can go all over the country slamming white people, so then he could be a player in a presidential run if a black doesn't get in. Mitch Landrieu will be appalling to the general public. Mitch Landrieu will be appalling to the white middle class. Will be appalling to the middle class. Appalling for what he believes in. When Carville says he's going to appeal to minorities, he's going to appeal to the white working class, he's not going to appeal because of the way he stands on everything. But I know Mitch will go to one side and say, hey, I voted for the rebel flag license plate. Don't forget old Mitch over here. And over here go, them white people, them statues, and how horrible they are. So he'll come over here and go, hey, man, wink, wink, nod, nod. Hey, I voted for the staff. I voted for the license plate. Hey, you voting for me, huh? We're the same. Nobody is Mitch Landrieu. Mitch Landrieu came from a wealthy family. Mitch Landrieu was born with a spoon in his mouth. Mitch Landrieu was mayor because his daddy was mayor. His sister was a United States senator, and they cheated to win that. But we didn't have enough guts to go stop it. Mitch Landrieu, mayor. President. What a joke. I just hope I wonder why in the book they didn't put when he voted for the license plate. The rebel flag license plates. I wonder why they didn't put in the book how crime is skyrocketing under him in New Orleans. I just wonder why they don't put the truth. But they're not. If Mitch Landrieu becomes the nominee for the Democrat Party, they'll ignore all of his, quote, accomplishments in New Orleans, which wasn't many, if any. And you could say a lot of people, even people in the press, have written, he's been a failed mayor. He failed his city. They couldn't even, on a 6-inch rain, they got flooded. A 6-inch rain, they got flooded. I want you to think about that. Because the money was never put into the pumps. They never fixed the pumps. And it was too late then. All right, one quick call. Paul in Lake Charles. How you doing, Paul?
Wait, you just stole my topic.
What's that?
I was gonna say, I was wondering if he's gonna put in the book about what a good job they did with the pumps, and if people will remember that.
Mitch Landrieu would get demolished in his own state. You understand me? He would get demolished. He would get demolished in the South. What he did was he became the latest white race pimp in the Democrat Party. That's all Mitch Landrieu has done.
He's a white Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, but for the same cause. I mean, I'm telling you, he's a white pimp hustler for the Democrat Party. That's all he's doing here. Let's just be blunt. We just got to be honest about it.
Yep.
All right, we got to take a quick break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. Your opportunity to be a voice is now. We'll be right back. Yeah, I told that. I'm not in this business today. I was there yesterday. I was supposed to be there today. I don't know how many people are confused. Paul Sutherland joined me for a few minutes back on the line, Commercial Power Sports. Paul, how you doing? I guess you didn't see me today, huh?
Good morning, Moon. I just wanted to drop a note and let you know it is Wednesday in North Louisiana. Wednesday.
And I'm not there, I bet you.
Yeah, that's right. So, man, I do appreciate you coming up here yesterday. We had a great day. Had a lot of people calling in and sending me texts, saying you sounded like $1 million and I sounded like an amateur.
Well, I don't know about that. Brandon might change that for you, but I did tell you I wanted you to call back in real quick, and I do appreciate you. I do. To me, it was a lot of fun. We did meet a lot of people, including doctors and people like that have come by and say hi. But
I was really interested to see who came in, but you had quite a variety of fans that came in to visit yesterday. So that was exciting.
Who knows who would have came in if we would have did it on the day that we said we'd be there?
We'd have had a parade with cake and donuts.
Well, we had plenty of that. All right, I did want to get you back. Commercial Power Sports. Tell people what you do.
Well, buddy, we've just got it's an outdoor power equipment store. We sell Exmark lawnmowers, Shindawa Echo, Redmax, Maruyama handheld with Honda as our push mower line, and then we've got a lot of Cajun fryers. We have the Cajun crawfish boilers and stuff that are made up in Homer, Louisiana. We try to kind of push the stuff that's kind of made locally. We sell the little Landmaster side-by-sides that just recently, as bad as it sounds, moved from Hammond area down there, and they actually moved the little factory up to Indiana, but they're still had a little local tie back when they were doing it, but they're making a nice unit now. So we sales and service, if you've got a yard that needs a little bit of work done in it, we've got everything you need to handle it.
And no doubt about it. Give people your phone number, give people your website, because you do have a website, and they can get started on the website.
We got a website. You can go to mybigmower.com, you can pull up our app through Android and download that and contact us that way. We've got local phone numbers, 318-425-0222, and then we have a toll-free number nationwide is 877-569-2153. You can order parts online. You can order them over the phone. We ship stuff out every day all over the country. So if we can help you with any of your lawnmower needs, and everything we really do is for the commercial cutters, but we have probably 25 or 30% of our business comes from homeowners that just want to have a nice machine to keep their yard with.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, you got a lot of great stuff, beautiful store, great employees. Paul, thank you as usual, and I wish you the best of luck, my friend. Hope we get to do it again one day.
Well, Moon, I appreciate you letting us call in, and you have a great day.
All right, you too, Paul.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, man. Commercial Power Sports. All right. Brandon, okay, let's jump gears. I think I said Harris first. Hey, hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Y'all heard us talk about the Hope Fest 5K run, which was really good. Lance Struthers joins us again from STM. That benefited options, I think, 100%. Everybody knows my daughter's in the options program at St. Thomas More. First of all, good morning.
Good morning, Moon.
Let's back up a little bit. That was pretty successful.
Man,
the weather was all awful, was it? Was the weather not perfect?
Well, look, it was an 80% chance of thunderstorms, and we just held out hope. I mean, we are Hope Fest, so we just rain or shine. We get out there. I was fully expecting to be setting up in a thunderstorm. We didn't have a drop of rain. We actually had a little sun.
It was nice.
Very nice.
It was real nice.
And look, it paid off. We appreciated Acadiana. We appreciate y'all helping us get the word out. We had a big goal relative to what we'd done in the past. Most we'd had before was 220 runners.
About to say you pretty much doubled it.
We just about doubled it. Yep.
Well, that was a blessing. I know it. Well, matter of fact, I was laughing. I introduced you to him, and Brandon just knows it from the Dead Pelican. Chad Rogers. He was in Denham Springs, listened to the program, drove all the way over here.
That's exactly right.
And he said, "Man, I do some charity stuff," and he came to the race. So that was
impressive. That was impressive.
I think though part of it was he thought I would be running.
He was sorely mistaken.
He was mistaken. No, he wasn't mistaken. He was flat out wrong. All right. That brings us to the event this Saturday. Talk a little bit about this event, which is another fundraiser, which not only benefits options, but it also benefits a charity in the local community.
That's right, y'all. It's the culminating event. It's the Hope Fest Music Festival. It happens this Saturday at Park International, downtown Lafayette, from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And the young people that put this on, they research our community, and then they get together. Everybody presents who they would like to help. And then they form a consensus on one group. And this group that they selected has made the top 3 the past 5 years. And finally, this year, they were the consensus. And it's the Jacob Crouch Suicide Prevention Services. It's it's to help people really struggling to live another day, and clinical depression, anxiety, all of those things that fall under that umbrella.
That's really gigantic right now for as awareness.
Absolutely.
The awareness part of what you just talked about is gigantic now.
It's huge. I know for myself, when I talk with adults about depression, suicide, these are things that hit close to home for just about all of us in one way or another. So the fact that the young people have selected the Jacob Crouch Suicide Prevention Services along with the STM Options Program to benefit with the Hope Fest Music Festival is an awesome cause. Inviting all of your listeners to join us. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com, eventbrite.com for this Saturday. And if somebody wants to make a donation, if they're out of town and they just like to support the cause, they can go to stmcougars.net/hopefest and make a donation.
Pretty simple. Also, I'll take people at the gate.
We'll take people at the gate. The gate ticket's $25, but you can save $10 by going to eventbrite.com and get it for $15.
Okay, but $15 to $25. Somebody that may not know what this is, what are they going to be entertained by? You don't necessarily have to mention the bands, but it's basically a musical fest most of the day.
Exactly. It's live music all day long, Moon. We got over 22 young people who will hit the big stage for the first time for a lot of them. Very, very talented young people from around this area, followed by 5 bands. Our headliners are Ryder Romero and the Hub City All-Stars, 3-time Grammy-nominated band from right here at home. And we're bringing back from Los Angeles one of our hometown heroes in Mackenzie Borg, who's going to be one of our headliners as well.
No doubt about it. Do you need Brandon to come sing the national anthem?
We need Brandon. I was hoping Brandon could do some hand percussion behind Mackenzie.
By the way, the last thing we're leaving with is when you get in there all day, then there's food trucks all over there, drinks, all that stuff. You have a good time. They got, if I recall, there's chairs to sit down, so you want to relax, you want to walk around, listen to bands, you can do it all.
People can bring their own lawn chairs, bring your picnic blankets. We'll have boiled crawfish, jambalaya, the works, funnel cakes. We'll have games for the kids, face painting, Dunkin' booths. Family-friendly deal, inviting everybody to come out and join us.
Can't beat that. One more time, tell them where they can get tickets from and how they can find out more about the event.
Hope Fest Music Festival. Get your tickets right now at eventbrite.com. If you'd like to make a donation and help us support Jacob Crouch Suicide Prevention Services and STM Options, you can go to stmcougars.net/hopefest.
And by the way, I'll tell people again, Maddie, my daughter, is one of the reasons we moved here was the options program at STM. She's in her 4th year. No, she graduates next year.
That's amazing.
That's hard to believe.
We're not sure what we're going to do without her.
I can't imagine what I'd do without her either.
Yeah. Well,
God bless,
Brandon, thank y'all, man. Appreciate it.
I'll let you slide out. Thank you, Lance. Appreciate it. All right, 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline if you'd like to be part of the Moon Griffon Show. Lance Harris, who's the head of the Republican caucus, they got on Facebook and sent a message out. And basically, the message, and I'll let you listen to it, is they got elected to go to Baton Rouge not to raise taxes. Nobody ran on that platform. And it was a group of them. Now, by the way, and Brandon, I probably need to put this on Facebook because there's a lot of Republicans not there, but there's also, these are the people that are willing to stand up. And if we put it on Facebook, they can actually see most of them. I think the picture's not really big, but you probably can blow it up and see who's the real conservatives and who are not the real conservatives. Because I'm sure all of them were invited to take this. Anyway, here's Lance Harris in the Republican caucus.
Hi, I'm Representative Lance Harris. I'm standing here with my Republican colleagues in the Louisiana House of Representatives and with the support of a new Republican Party. We have a message for the citizens of this state. We're fighting for you, and we will continue to fight for you. Despite what you may hear or read, we do not have a $1 billion budget deficit. That's a fact. We're working to reduce spending and find every bit of savings we can before we look at any portion of a tax renewal. Despite what some may say, you can't spend your way out of debt. It's time state government started working for the people, not the other way around. Thank you.
Now, by the way, this was pretty good, folks. That's the ones, those people that were with Lance. Those are the ones that the press and the media keeps beating up on. It's the fiscal hawks. These guys don't know what they're talking about. The gang of no. And what they basically are doing, coming together and say, look, we're fighting for y'all. They just want to keep raising taxes. And I think they ought to do more stuff like that. And by the way, Brandon, all of them are not in there. I mean, I looked at a picture and I didn't see Mark Abraham.
There's a lot of them I'm not seeing in there.
Yeah, I know. And that's, you wonder where are they? Are these the only real conservatives left down in Baton Rouge? Because if you're a minority down in Baton Rouge, you're going to get beat up. And so what they did is basically saying what I'm telling you, that we didn't come down here to grow government. We came down here to do the people's work. And I think they need a lot more of that. I think they really ought to get out there and realize, because I don't know about you, Brandon, we didn't see every commercial that was run, but I don't remember any Republicans on the House and the Senate running on pro-tax, pro-big government. Did you? And if you did, name one of them, because I don't know of any. Now, once they get down there, we can start picking them out. But that's not what they're running on, and a lot of those are staying in the Republican Party so they can win. All right, is there enough time for Jay Morris? I didn't know how long his was.
Oh, Jay Morris? No, that's a little bit longer, Moon. We only have a minute before.
Okay, we'll come back. Morris, I found out, is against the Constitutional Convention just like I am. So he put out a piece. I want to play that as well because I'm telling y'all, there ain't 10 people in this state that's against the Constitutional Convention. I happen to be one of them because I know where it's headed at. I know what direction it's going. And it's not going to be changing anything except you and me paying more money. I will be right on this. I just hope it's not too late. Now, there's not any bills that have passed out of the House or Senate. I know they're going to try to pass one today. I think it's going to form another committee. If they form a committee to study this, to decide if we need a constitutional convention, trust me, the committee will come back and say we need a constitutional convention. So, Brandon, if they form a committee, don't waste our time. You don't need a committee. We already know what you want to do. It is a major mistake forming a constitutional convention. Major mistake. We got to take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Earlier you heard Lance Harris. That was the Republican caucus. Now, by the way, Brandon, if you really look at it, there's a lot of people not there. And because everybody's not conservative. And I'm not saying somebody didn't miss because they had other things to do, but the bottom line is they got this new middle-of-the-road caucus, the John Bel Edwards caucus. And I'm wondering how many Republicans they get on that. They asked Julie Stokes the other day, and she said they're working on it. Who is willing in a Republican Party to go be part of a, quote, middle-of-the-road caucus? I want to see who those Republicans. We know Rob Shadwine, Barry Ivey, and we know people like that are there. And Julie Stokes, who's Nancy Pelosi in a Republican uniform. And these people ought to be Democrats, not middle-of-the-roaders who are going to be with John Bel Edwards. So I wonder, when will they let that list out? How many people are willing to have guts to put their name on that list? That's the question. All righty. Constitutional Convention again. Jay Morris, Representative Jay Morris has issued a deal with the Constitutional Convention, so I'm going to play his deal now for you.
They're back. Is there a secret deal to raise your taxes?
There's a lot of talk going around the Louisiana legislature about the need for a statewide constitutional convention. It seems those doing most of the talking are those who want to do more taxing and do more spending. If the Constitutional Convention is about raising the property taxes on your home by lowering your homestead exemption or even doing away with the homestead exemption, I won't be supporting a constitutional convention, and neither should you. If the convention is about allowing those who don't own property to raise taxes on those who do, I won't be supporting a constitutional convention. and neither should you. If the convention is about raising taxes on working and middle-class families and small Louisiana businesses while giving more of your tax dollars to multinational corporations, I won't be supporting a constitutional convention, and neither should you. Here's the deal. Some special interests want a constitutional convention so they can avoid taxes while increasing taxes on our working and middle-class families. I don't. Some special interests want a convention so they can spend more state money on government programs while making our middle class and working people pay for it. I don't. Those who seek to avoid taxes and those who seek to spend more of your tax dollars are the two groups who seem to push the Constitutional Convention the most. Besides a convention, they share a common purpose: to tax our middle class and working people and small businesses even more. If we need a convention, we need tax relief, not a tax giveaway. We need spending reform, not more government spending. Call your legislators and tell them that's the kind of convention you want.
Yeah, so we do have a few people, very few, that are coming out against it. And I'm just telling you, once they go that far deep in that deal, they want that 2/3 tax vote overturned. They want a 2/3 fee vote overturned so they can vote on a minority of just a simple majority. And the other thing they want, Julie Stokes, Nancy Pelosi, she is now wanting to vote every year on taxes. We can bring up tax bills every year now instead of every other year. You know, the Texas legislature, Brandon, only meets every other year. Every other year. So they cannot vote for taxes every year. They tell us all they want to do is get to those dedicated funds. That's our problem. It takes one bill, vote of the House, vote of the Senate, a vote of me and you. We can get rid of all the dedicated money. All of it. Now, if that's the problem, and that should be the solution, why in the world are we having a, quote, going to have a constitutional convention? It doesn't make any sense, folks. It makes no sense at all. They tell us the problem is dedicated money. Good, undedicated all. They don't want to make the cuts. They never want to make the cuts. It's 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline if you'd like to be part of the program, your opportunity to be a voice in a great state, Louisiana, parts of Mississippi, Arkansas, and even a great state of Texas. So we are here waiting on you. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. Yeah, I've talked about it in detail. Most people will be against me on the Constitutional Convention. Most lobbying groups will be against me. Most of the big money will be against me. Most of the elected officials will probably be against me. Most Republicans will be against me. Most Democrats will be against me. But I'm willing to stand in the line for the people and tell you that a Constitutional Convention is not going to fix everything. Soon as they get a chance, they'll start dedicating money again. You realize they stripped a lot of this stuff back when I think Buddy Roma was governor. They stripped a lot of the dedicated money. I don't know if you knew that or not, Brandon. And then we just started adding new dedications. It does us no good to strip dedications if we're going to put them right back on. Number two, homestead exemption will be affected. Number three, the 2/3 tax vote and fee vote is what they really want. They want to put that back to a majority rules. And I just want you to realize that. I want you to realize what they're doing. I talked to one this morning. I've talked to several of them. They say, well, you know we could lose that status of a 2/3 vote. I'm almost believing most people would like to get rid of the 2/3 vote just to make it easier to vote taxes, because you'll have a bunch of people can always vote no on taxes, but you're always going to have enough to pass the tax. So they'll say, well, I'm not in that 2/3 vote. They're not even going to be in a majority vote. Nobody with any sense would say, well, let's say if I got less money, I'm going to prosper. Doesn't work that way. This whole constitutional convention is about money. Money, money, money. If it was about undedicating funds, one vote. And don't let nobody tell you that's not true, you couldn't do it. Yes, you can. I've already checked into it. They can do a constitutional amendment to undedicate those funds. Then why don't you do it if that's the problem? The Problem is, that's not the problem. We have a spending problem. We're outpacing our economy. Your economy can only produce so many taxes, so much in tax revenue, to where the citizens don't get hurt. And I'll tell you again, if the private sector doesn't prosper, neither should the government sector. Because without the private sector, there's no money for government. No parts of government. Teacher pay raises, policemen, none of it. It goes hand in hand, but you got to put the business community first. Problem is, we got a lot of business people that want to get into. They want to get into this constitutional amendment because they want their say. And who's going to be involved in it? Who's going to set the pace for the Constitutional Convention? It's going to be the same people we've been reading about for 40 years. I guarantee you, not one representative, not one person in the press would argue that Jay Darden or John Alario needs to be there. They're going to argue for him. And Landon Keller wrote another just waste of time and waste of killing trees on how great Jay Darden is, who never accomplished anything. He accomplished one thing. His retirement's going to be based over $200,000 a year because he knifed David Vitter in the back. That's what he accomplished. None of them can brag about what they accomplished. None of them, including him. They really believe they had more money. That's it. In the conversation, we are on a roll. Where do you get the money from? It's from you and me. So that's all this Constitutional Convention is about, folks, is about tax revenue. And it's frustrating me. But I don't mind being on the right end. I'll take the licks at the beginning. But in the very end, people are going to come around and say, you were right. And I hate boasting like that. But it's really not boasting in my heart. What it is just telling y'all we better be careful of a constitutional convention. And we better be careful big time. Call us. And Manny, how you doing, Carlos?
Yes, sir. Good morning. I agree with you there. That guy, that conservative guy you had on there just before, I agree with him 100%. He ought to run for governor. But I got something I want to ask you about. Did we get hoodwinked on this here school deal where you give all the liberals everything they want and all kinds of psychology and that kind of stuff for the kids at the schools? Pay them to rat on their schoolmates and stuff like that. They're going to make a fortune off of that. All that there was a hoodwinked, I think. What do you think about it?
Well,
I think we've been hoodwinked on that.
Well, I don't know. Well, that's one of the things time will tell. And but like I said, who knows? Who knows? I don't know who's sincere no more. I don't know who's sincere, who's not sincere anymore. That's a shame. It's a shame it's gotten down to this. So, all right.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, callers. Let me move on. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. James in New Iberia. How you doing, James?
Hey, Moon. Listen, if this constitutional convention is the same thing that Mark Levin is putting forth, is that the same thing?
No. The constitutional convention I'm talking about is the one in Louisiana that they're trying to push down our throat right now. This would be 100% just Louisiana, not anything to do with the federal government or a national deal. Just strictly Louisiana, what I'm talking about.
Okay, because I'm a little confused because I keep hearing Mark Levin talk about this constitutional convention of 38 states, and he got a call a while back saying, well, what if one of the states puts forth some amendments that's liberal? And he said that it wouldn't go through because 80 to 90% of the states are conservative. Why would they have to sign off on it? The 38 states would have to sign off on any amendment. So if this is something different, I thought it was the same thing you were talking about. I was going to go ahead and tell you it would, whatever Louisiana puts forth that's liberal, it would never get signed off by the 38 states. They'd never pass it.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about something totally different. We have budget problems. They think if they can get in there and undedicate the funds and make it where we have no dedication, that will fix our budget problem. But really, they're only talking about that to have the Constitutional Convention. They really want to do a lot more with it.
Since I got you on the phone, since I got you on the phone, Moon, what do you think about that proposal that Mark Levin is trying to put forward?
To be honest with you, I hadn't seen it yet. I hadn't seen that at all. I'm not saying he didn't propose it. I just don't watch TV a lot. And I don't get to see him a whole lot, so I'm not as familiar with that one.
Well, it's on the radio. It's same KPEL, but he comes on at 6 p.m.
Well, I'll have to check it out. I appreciate it though. Thanks for the call. Let's move on. New York, Eddie. Eddie, how you doing?
Yeah, hi. Are you, when you say constitutional convention, are you referring to the convention of states?
That's what I think. That's what I think this gentleman was talking about, and I haven't checked into that as much as a lot of people. The constitutional convention I'm talking about is one just in the state of Louisiana. It's dealing with our stuff and our constitution. Nothing to do with that.
I don't know anything about. Yeah. Don't know anything about that movement, so I'll have to listen more, and then I'll call back.
There's a big movement on that one, but that's the legislature's now they've got bills they're trying to pass. The last constitution we had was in 73, 74, and they're trying to undedicate some money, but really over here they're just trying to get a 2/3 vote off of taxes and fees so they can raise them quicker. That's what I think the whole thing's about.
Well, in New York, the people get to vote on whether the Constitution will be amended every 20 years.
Well, we're going to vote. Now, listen, the thing about it is if we do something like that, we will get the final vote, Eddie. No doubt about it. We'll get the final vote.
Yeah, well, I don't trust them. They're always up to mischief, so I would say no to that. Yeah. That would be my vote. No. Leave the Constitution alone.
I think they ought to get away from it. They can fix the problem with us. We got a lot of money that's dedicated. All they got to do with one vote, one constitutional amendment, they can undedicate all the money. That seems to be a little quicker, better fix to the problem than what they're talking about now. So anyway, I got to run. Thanks for the call. Folks, that'll do us. We'll meet you on Friday Eve next time. God bless. Have an awesome, awesome day. It's going to be a great day. Even Brandon's smiling. That's hump day, Brandon. It's closer to your favorite day.
Absolutely.
All right, folks. See you tomorrow.